Hello, this is Dr. Jason Munsell. It is Thursday, July 28th, 12:07, just right afternoon. I want to give a shout out to Jill. Thank you for the cookies yesterday. I enjoyed my birthday party, watching Michelle Obama and discussing ethos and pathos. I told you in class yesterday that even though the syllabus said that I wasn't going to add an online lecture today to give you time to work on stuff, I have decided to do this because I didn't cover it last night. And I have talked about chapter 16 before using language, but I haven't gotten into the nitty-gritty. So I'm going to say a few things about language. This is going to be very, very brief, and then that will be it. So, if you recall, rhetorical style is one of the canons of rhetoric. And as you recall, and because you studied for the quiz, style is the specific word choices and rhetorical devices. Those are also figures of speech, but or just general techniques of language speakers use to express their ideas. So, I mean, all this stuff blurs into one another. Categorically, we have these 5 canons of rhetoric, but in the practice or the performance of it, it all blurs in together, both when you are speaking and when you are writing. But in any case, language is fun. What does the book say? Read it. If you haven't read chapter 16, please do. It starts on page 133. It is golden. Okay, well, some of the things they say: prepare speeches for the ear, choose concrete words and vivid imagery, choose words that build credibility, choose words that create lasting impressions. There's a checklist that is also golden on page 140. So look at that checklist. I love these checklists. Use familiar words, easy to follow sentences. Root out biased language and sexist language. I don't like sexist language. It's not mankind, it's humankind. Yeah. To boldly go where no one has gone before, not no man. Avoid unnecessary jargon. Use fewer rather than more words to express your thoughts, both writing and speaking. I've noticed that some of you have some trouble being very wordy. Try to say things with as few words as possible. Make striking comparisons with similes and metaphors and analogies. Use active voice. Repeat key words. I love repetition. Anaphora, epiphora, epiphora. Alliteration. Yeah, I love alliteration. Peter did something. Experiment with parallelism. Yeah. Experiment with parallelism. Okay. And those are the things that I'm going to actually focus on, the figures of speech, also known as tropes. Okay. So, tropes and Burke. I know you can't see this, and there's way too much. I didn't use the rule of visuals, so I have way too much on this particular PowerPoint slide. But one of the things that I want you to understand, and hopefully this has come through in different ways, is that rhetoric generally is not a representation, or it is. Representation of reality is a representation. The way we say things, craft or build or create the way that we see the world. And so when Kenneth Burke, remember from identification and all that jazz and ethos, when he talks about metaphor, he talks about how metaphor gives a new perspective to something. Theoretically, we are thinking about 2 ideas, the vehicle and the tenor. The vehicle is, I just saw a car, it's the vehicle. It's like a car. A vehicle is the metaphor itself. And the tenor, which has nothing to do with music, though this is about music, is the reference or the thing that you're giving a new perspective to. And the examples I have here are war. Within political discourse and other discourse, but you know, we often use war metaphors. There's a war on drugs, a war on crime, a war on whatever. These aren't really wars per se. They are metaphorical wars, but all the baggage associated with war as a tenor metaphor is now put on the idea of crime or drugs or whatever. All the baggage that comes along with that. So it gives us a particular perspective. It's a lot different to say, drugs are bad. Say no. Just say no. Versus there's a war on drugs. I mean, it gives a completely different frame, a different way of thinking about it and looking at it, and therefore the wording that we use crafts our way of looking at that particular idea, drugs, through metaphor. Okay. So, one of the things that we oftentimes see, particularly when there is a major crisis in our world, is obviously speeches, but also music. And so back in the day, 9/11, you probably remember there were a lot of songs dedicated to that and to our foreign policy afterwards. There's always, go back to Vietnam, anything. Okay. And I'm using a song for a purpose here as an example, mainly because I think it's sort of funny, but also because of the lyrical aspect of all this and everything like that. But I'm not evaluating Toby Keith or his lyrical genius, nothing like that. I'm just reusing it as an example. And by the way, I'm not going to actually show the video. You can go and watch the video of this particular song that I'm about to read to you. And also, if you would like to try one of Toby Keith's delicious restaurants, there's a link to that. Toby Keith, if you don't know, is a country western star. Did the Red Solo Cup thing. This was from a while back. He was my brother, mainly because he's from Oklahoma. But I'm not like a big fan of Toby Keith or anything like that. But I just think he's interesting. So I'm going to stop this in show and then come back to it. And then I put on KC not only this PowerPoint, but also this his lyrics to this particular song that is called "Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue," and or the Angry American, or the Angry Dog. I'm gonna do a reading. What's going on? Oh, there's somebody out there. I know it. Then I'm doing a poetry reading here. Oh, know it. American girls, American guys will always stand up and salute. We'll always recognize, and when we see old glory flying, there's a lot of men dead. So we can sleep in peace at night when we lay down our heads. My daddy served in the army where he lost his right eye, but he flew a flag out in our yard till the day that he died. He wanted my mother, my brother, my sister, and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love has fallen under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back. Soon as we could see clearly through our big black eye, man, we lit up your world like the 4th of July. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly, and it's going to be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. And it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Brought to you courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.